My story began when I was born, July 1st, 1961. My parents were expecting a boy, and even though they said they loved me, I always felt like a disappointment. When I was young, I remember my mother and father fighting, yelling, and crying. They soon had a divorce, and I was living with my dad. When I went to school, I had a really hard time in academics, but I had a true gift with communicating with others. When I took my exam to see if I could continue school, I failed. Twice. My parents had then enrolled me in finishing school for upper-class women. It was awful. I told my parents to please take me out of the program, and they agreed. I moved in with my mother and stepfather and asked them if I could live alone, but they thought I was too immature. I moved out later on my own, and I lived in an apartment. The girls who lived with me were like sisters. I went to take a job as a kindergarten teacher. It was marvelous. I got many compliments when I was teaching children, and many asked for my name. When Charles proposed, I immediately said yes, even though he did mention that it was going to be hard to live with the royal family. I didn't think twice. After he proposed, it seemed like everywhere I went it was swarming with people. I had many interviews, photo shoots, and important meetings. I think I may have saw someone in the bush with a camera when I broke down in tears at Charles' polo game, and it's because I saw him with another woman. We got married, and I thought people would move on to the next top hit. I was wrong. More microphones and cameras were shoved into my face. It was like that every corner I looked. Charles and I went on a honeymoon, but it wasn't as romantic as I thought it would be. We barely did any talking, and he had his eyes glued to his book, which he wanted me to read too. That was when I started to lose my feelings for Charles. I changed my view from shy to a fashionable, confident woman. I was meeting the latest designers for my new clothes. It was lots of fun. I wanted people to also see me as generous too. That was when I realized that I held helping others nearest to my heart and what I believed in. I went to organizations that help people with AIDS and other disabilities. I was honored to shake their hands and to change the way people saw them. I traveled around the world, and I represented the International Red Cross. I spoke at fundraisers and visited ill patients, the homeless, and aid victims. In 1987, I opened the first British hospital for helping patients with AIDS. When my first son was born, I can remember Charles' disgusted look when he saw that he had a son. He was expecting a daughter. From that moment on, all the feelings I used to have for him were gone. I remember when William got hurt and was hurried away in the ambulance. I was with him, of course. Prince Charles thought different, and he rode in his car behind us. I truly believe that my responsibilities as a mother, a princess, and helping others is deeply important.